Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 10 of my Create This Book series by me and Moriah Elizabeth. I've been working very hard on this book, and it has been very challenging, but I can't wait to see what we come up with today. Like and subscribe, and let's get right into today's video. I'm opening up the book to the first prompt of the day, which is to create a page of quotes. So I'm supposed to fill the entire page with inspirational quotes, which made me think of this sticker that I have. It's my favorite quote, "Refuse to sink." So I immediately put that in the book before I got started thinking about other ideas. And then I grabbed 2 different sheets of paper, which I want to make kind of calligraphy on. So quick, pick a color. Guess what I'm going to choose? 1 out of 15 chance. You got this. Go ahead. And I picked green. So if you got green, comment down below because that's what we're going to try to use for this first one. I opened it right side up because I've heard that's how to keep them from spilling excess ink. And now I'm going ahead and trying to start writing out my quote, which I want to write "mindset is everything," but as you can see, I was having some trouble fitting it onto the card. So I flipped it over and tried one more time, and it still did not work. As you can see, it did not turn out. So I decided to try a different method and give up on this one. So this method is something really interesting. This is called a pencil. It has this thing at the end of it where you can erase if you make a mistake. I know, a crazy invention. I don't know why I didn't think to use a pencil instead of a Posca before, but now we're going to use a pencil to sketch out my idea before I just go crazy and straight in with the Posca pen. So now I'm sketching out in bubble letters, adding in some cursive, and writing out "mindset is everything." Once I finally got the quote to fit correctly onto the page, thank you to the pencil, then I was able to move on, add in a couple of designs, and then I wanted to outline everything. I had no idea really what I was going to do with the background or anything. I just knew I wanted the quote to stand out, so I thought an outline would be a great way to make sure it stands out from anything else that I add to this drawing. And then after I outlined everything, I erased the pencil underneath, and this design looks so much better than the designs that we did before. This is a big step up from this, obviously. So now I'm going in with my green Posca pen and just filling in all of the letters to begin my design. That way I can kind of plan what I want to do still around it. But for now, I just know that I want everything to be one solid color and look the same. I really am not sure why I chose the color green to fill in the quote. Not that it's a bad color, it's just not really a color I would normally gravitate towards, but I think it turned out really cool, and I think it went for the aesthetic that I was going for. I wanted it to have like a cool vibe and be really unique, so I think the green was a good color choice for that, but now I need to figure out what I'm going to do with the background. To stick with the cool green vibe that I'm going for, I thought checkers would be a really cool touch to add into the background, so I decided to draw out all of my squares and then put little X's inside of the ones that I needed to color in black. But now I'm bringing in this new Posca pen, so I went ahead and prepped it, shook it a little bit, made sure it was ready to go, and now I'm filling in all of those squares black. That way I can have a cool checker design behind the green wording. I think the checkers really made this entire design and were really cool to put with the quote. Not that it really has to do with the quote at all, but just was a cool touch in terms of visual interest to add in a background like that. So then afterwards I decided to add in a couple of white gel pen highlights, and then I was completely done creating this quote art. And so this was a lot of fun. I don't usually do words or calligraphy, so now I'm trying again, and I did not learn from my past mistakes. I tried to go first in with the Posca pen like I did before, and lo and behold, it did not fit onto the page. So I had to flip this one over too and try again, but I did not grab that magical pencil. I just went ahead and tried again with the Posca pen to see if I could get it to work, because I again did not learn from my mistakes, I guess, at all. So for this one I want to write "see the good," so that's what I went ahead and wrote out, and this time it did fit on the page, thankfully, despite my best efforts. And then I went ahead and added in some bold outlines to the good word, and then I went ahead and thickened some lines to add in different line widths to make the art a little more visually interesting. Good got colored in with a lighter purple to add in some color variation, and then I also decided to try and go ahead and add like a drop shadow to the wording to make it look like it was a little three-dimensional, but for some reason this gray Posca pen was very liquidy. I did shake it, so I'm not really sure what that's about, but I tried my best. Then I fixed the lines up a little bit, and then I decided to try and fix this design with some hearts, but you really can't fix a bad base with some hearts, so This one did not turn out as good as the first one, I don't think, but let me know which one you liked better, if you liked Mindset is Everything or See the Good better. So here is the first one again, and then I put them into the book. So here they are side by side. I think they both turned out super cute, but I definitely prefer the first one that I did. But now let's move on to the second prompt of the day. The second prompt of the day was to create a fabric page. So I'm supposed to attach a piece of fabric to the page, but that didn't really sound creative to me, at least not in the way I like to create. So I decided to grab my Ohuhu markers instead, and I'm using these colors, and I decided to go in with my darkest color first and try to create a fabric drawing. So I want to draw out fabric and practice that. It's a really hard thing to draw and get right because there are so many shadows and different lighting, and you have to make it look like it's all shaded in the right place, otherwise it just looks like a big mess. So that's what I decided to do instead. So I took my darkest color first, and then I went ahead and got a lighter shade next just to blend everything out, and went ahead with that same pattern until I finished the whole thing. But this was really challenging, and I think it still fits the prompt because it's fabric, but I did not just attach a piece of fabric to the page, I attached a piece of drawing fabric or fabric that I drew onto the page. So after I put all of my shadows in, then I went ahead and put just a solid background over it. I decided to add a couple more shadows in because it really wasn't contrasting enough for me. And then after that, I added in more light as well with a white gel pen, and then my fabric was complete. I felt like it would be a really cool touch to round the corners of this art, so that's what I decided to do. I felt like it would add to the fabric effect, and then I went ahead and put it into the book, and here's how it turned out. So let me know if you think this looks like fabric at all. I think it turned out okay, but I think I could do better. And then here is the last prompt of the day, which is to create an alien. So I'm supposed to think outside of the box and create a unique alien. I've never really put a lot of thought into what I think an alien would look like, but I decided to start by just drawing whatever came to mind. Of course, I had to keep the antennas because that is a major part of what I think an alien looks like, but then I went ahead and just drew out a whole bunch of different blobby type designs as to what I think an alien could look like. They're kind of cutesy. I was really just trying to come up with a concept as to what I think they could look like or what would be a fun design, and then I kept on just creating and redrawing basically the same thing over and over with slight variations. Like the first one's round, the second one's kind of square, and then the third one's like a combination of the two. So I realized that I accidentally created a little alien family, so I wanted to recreate this little alien family on the other sheet of paper over here. So that's what I'm doing. I decided that the rectangular one would be the mom, that this one would be the dad, and then I created their little gumdrop looking child with a little smiley face in the middle. So I created this little alien family, and now it's time to color them in. So the first thing that I did was outline them, that way they would have bold faces, and then after that I decided to make the dad alien blue, then I decided to make the mom alien pink, and then red and blue make purple, so I decided to make the baby a light purple color, that way it makes sense. And then I added in little antenna colors, made the mom and the dad's antennas orange, and then I tried to add some blush, and this is where I made some bad choices because now it looks like the aliens have evil red eyes instead of blush, so it's pretty scary. I tried to fix it by adding in some eyes and some eyebrows, but I think I just ended up making them look even more terrifying, so that's not what I was trying to do. They were supposed to be cute, but they ended up looking a little bit scary. I'm not gonna lie, the baby's still cute, but the parents are terrifying. But anyway, let's take a look back at the first prompt of the day where we created a page of quotes, and I did See the Good and Mindset is Everything, and I think they both turned out pretty cute, but I definitely like this one better. I just think it was more thought out and just turned out a lot better, probably due to the pencil. And here is the second prompt of the day where I created a fabric page and I tried to draw silk using Ohuhu markers, and I think it turned out pretty good, but let me know what you think. And here is the last prompt of the day where I created this alien family who look quite scary because the blush turned into red eyes. But let me know what you think. What was your favorite prompt of the day? Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!